Go in the bucket!
What's up, everybody? Kevin Jones here. Welcome to my channel. I've got Luke Humphries, my boy, with me today. We're going to bring you guys every shot from rounds 2 through 5 at the World Championships and kind of what I was thinking. I can pause it here and go back and talk about it all I want. For example, right here, we were looking at doing an A3 on a slight anhyzer angle. Hole 1, definitely a hole you want to get. And I'm just thinking, because we're throwing this S curve here because it opens up the gap.
Yep.
If you could throw a backhand hyzer putter here and have a good look at it, but you're kind of playing a little bit more of a luck game as far as the trees on the right side of the basket late. You could also play it purely to 30 feet left of the basket. But with this flex shot, I'm not really going too far with it, which is a thing that you can do because there's OB long, and then I'm just funneling pretty well to the basket. So that was my choice here. It worked out pretty well.
Yeah, you're using the largest part of the fairway all the way down.
Yeah, it definitely shapes to that. And then using PA3s all for the World Championships, my KJ stamp PA3s. I'm going to try to keep them stocked on my website. That is kevinjonesdg.com. The new stock of them coming very soon.
You're taking an interesting route here for hole 2.
Hole 2, this one is a great example of what are you thinking?
It's creativity. I can tell a story about this one. We walked up to this. You said, hey, I could throw up there, it'd break the hole, it'd be funny. You did it a couple times successfully, and then every time we came back to it, you continued to do it successfully, and it just turned into like a high percentage shot for you.
Right. And pretty much my rule was I was going to feel the wind every day on this hole. And if it was blowing any kind of left to right at all to where it's not going to get under my disc, I was just going to go with that shot because it wasn't letting my disc go too far left, which would find out of bounds. There's out of bounds left. The problem is that you have to throw it ridiculously high here, and nobody really thought of doing that. But the only way that I could get in trouble was if the wind gets under it and takes it high left out of bounds, or if I were to hit something really early. But we were just hoping that wasn't going to happen pretty much. But that was a special shot. Everybody loved it. Pretty much mind blown. And as a player, you can feast off those moments, honestly.
Yeah, if you stand on that tee box and look at that hole, it is directly up.
Right here, the play is to make sure you're in bounds. This is only round 2 of the World Championships. All you're trying to do is put in a solid round here. So I was making sure that I wanted to get in bounds, get somewhere on the left side, kind of scramble. Ended up having a nice little putt at it. Wasn't able to cash in, but that's exactly how you want to play that hole. Pretty stress-free.
You went with glidey, stable D2 off the tee, was that right?
Yeah. I don't remember the exact wind. It was probably a little bit of headwind, which would make you even more cautious.
This is the aggressive play?
Very dangerous hole here, but this is a shot that I felt like gives me just a massive advantage at a course like this. It's the F5 flick. It's really torque resistant. Or in other words, like I'm throwing it pretty clean.
Definitely clean. That's one of your workhorses for wood shots.
That A3 layout is exactly what you want to do on this hole. You want to make sure that you're in the fairway with around 200 feet left, giving yourself a repeatable shot. I didn't get as close as I wanted, but another really good putt. And for me, I say really good putts. Some people like Paul and Ricky would probably say that they do that in their sleep, but I don't think they do.
It was your first big putt of the day. You executed perfectly.
All right, this hole, crazy hole because it's so difficult. You got to be in such a small landing area, which I did not get. And now I'm doing something I didn't even practice, didn't know much about at all. Going around the right side here as on a scramble, not a great idea. I'm really left with nothing. It's practically going to be a bogey at best. But I put this putter on a slight, like, anhyzer.
Look at everybody get out of the way.
Everybody misses it. It's unbelievable.
Great work from that crowd. Awareness.
Seriously,
even
though.
From the youngster there.
Saving me another 20 feet, putting me inside the circle, which have been perfect so far. It's not very windy right here. Great feeling putt.
Oh, what a par, man.
That was huge. That's what you really want to see in these tournaments. Great scrambles are going to save you so much.
Yeah, and worth noting, this is the lead card. You shot a super hot round, first round, so this is as good as it gets.
That's right. Extra pressure. All right, this hole, such a funky hole. I was trying to get that much higher, but that was a correct angle. But I just kind of yanked it over. Got to do some more scrambling. Not what you want to do. Out of position here. Pretty much going on that route that I should have went at the start.
Good grief.
But really nice upshot.
Beautiful. Was that tree in play? Your hand looked like it hit it in the follow-through?
Yeah, a little bit, but I just made sure not to lean forward on it. Now we've got the really short tee box here at the fort. You can see me like almost off the back of it because you need every inch of it.
Did you feel like you were stopping your swing early ever on that hole because of the...
For sure. I mean, that tee shot was messing with you big time.
I heard other players talking about it as well.
And then a jumper, first jumper of the day. Really awkward too, and I leaned down. I couldn't see the chains because of that log in the way. Love to get those in there. The huge thing to think about on that hole is not missing left. You could get dead, easy bogey left. And then this one, yuck. Let's watch it again. Because this is a massive moment in this tournament for me. I felt like it's a shot that I feel like I can feast on.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing my D3, which is a really overstable disc. It's practically a D1. And I'm throwing it on a flat angle, just a little bit high in the air, which is extremely comfortable for me. And all you have to do is hit this initial gap. It's about 350 feet. If I do that, I'm going to have a putt at it no matter what, but I yanked it a little bit. Luckily didn't kick right, so I've got a manageable up and down. Got to just toss an A2. This gray disc is my A2. That's looking awesome. Great to see it funnel down right there and right to the pin.
Perfectly played. Right to the base of those trees is what you were trying to do.
Yeah, sometimes on elevated baskets, I'll do upside down turbo putt because it's really consistent. Doesn't spit out or anything.
Oh, it's a par 5 tee shot. You're going with an understable D2.
Yeah, flippy D2 with a fan grip as well for some control and accuracy because I wanted to hit it on a flat angle off of the tee box. This is a really important hole. Most important is getting, just like this, a nice around the corner shot, around the mando shot on the second shot. Then you're pretty much playing par at worst, it seems like. This was a laced-looking shot here with that D3.
Oh, yeah. Touch short, hits into the hill, takes off some momentum, but what are you, circle's edge, just outside?
Just outside, I think. And not quite committed enough. Tried to, like, I don't know, when you're feeling it, sometimes you try to just, like, guide that thing in there real nice and slow and soft, but maybe if I'd have jammed that one, it would have won it.
Going understable D2, lots of hyzer. This is the triple mando hole. You're trying to stay to the right of the fairway.
Yeah, basically I just need to blast that shot as hard as I can on a hyzer out to the right. If I get it turned up just a little bit, I'll be in a great attacking spot, but the point of me throwing that hyzer is so that I always have a shot like this coming in. I always have an opportunity at the birdie. That was lower than I wanted there for sure, but it got the job done in this situation. And I've been solid on the green so far, not feeling very nervous on putts like that.
Yeah, your putts are looking really good at this point in the tournament. Early on in this front nine.
All right. Hole 11, crazy hole. This is what we are looking to do, though, on hole 11,
That
for
looks
sure.
fantastic. Try to keep its height as it comes back.
There's so much room out to the right like I did there. And nothing wrong with that. I really did not run that putt hard, though, because if you go long and get behind that fat tree right there, it can actually be really tricky, and you don't want to get a bogey like that. This is a good hole to take a 3 on and move on. I got a clean scorecard so far. I would like to keep it that way.
Yeah, your entire card does. Is that affecting any of your nervousness, your anxiety, or any of that? As you rewind this one, you're playing with a bunch of guys that haven't bogeyed any holes either. What are you thinking about?
For sure. I mean, you would think that the pressure would be mounting like crazy right now, and it is, because you want to shred, you want to have like that really great round, but at the same time, you understand that this round doesn't matter at all. You're not going to win the tournament today. So it's great to be laying things up on, especially 5-round tournaments. It goes without saying, like, laying up is almost always the play, because you can't take yourself out of it if you're laying up. You're at least giving yourself a shot at being in the race. When you're going for things, you can pretty much end your tournament sometimes.
Yeah. So it's a high percentage day for you.
Yeah, it's just trying to like put in a solid score. I'm not worried about these guys at all. I'm just trying to like lace these shots that I've planned for as well as I can, and then make the putts. Yep. So this hole is another hole that I think I can feast on. I love this hole. It takes an F5 hit on just a tiny bit of hyzer, maybe pretty flat.
So switch to the other angle and show us your aiming point, if you would.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of talk us through, like.
Perfect. So looking down the fairway here, I've got that tree in the light. It's perfectly lit up. It's got like 2 fingers, and it splits upwards. And that tree is the one that you obviously want to be inside. It's creating the right side of the gap pretty much. So I'm imagining my slot that I'm aiming for just like 2 or 3 feet, maybe 2 feet to the left of that, really cutting it close. Like, I'm trying to come close to that tree, because if I come close to it, my work is pretty much done. That disc is going to start moving left, and I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, it's a super technical shot, but it's one that you've gained comfortability with, and you use it as a weapon in the woods. So people might think, 2 feet left of a tree, that seems pretty sketchy, but for you to release that, even with a little bit of hyzer at that angle, you're just super confident in that release.
Right, and it's something that in the warm-up before this round, I'm repping into the net multiple times, making sure that my timing is good. So I'm imagining this exact hole in my warm-ups. Whew. And I'm going to pay for it off the line there. Pretty much, definitely not what you want to do. Now I'm getting aggressive here. Going to hit this one kind of flat and maybe a little anhyzer there. Get it to flex down this fairway. I get caught late left, but it could be worked from here. Now I'm in like the proper landing zone for a first shot. And it was just a little bit inside there to be perfect. So I'm going to be taking my first bogey. Not of the tournament, but of the round.
Yeah, you can't even go with that one.
No.
OB Creek left. Any tree kicks or rollaways from the basket.
Yep. So it always hurts, like taking a bogey on a hole that you feel like you're going to be gaining strokes on, but
yeah, because Nate Sexton, Calvin Heinberg both birdied that one.
2-stroke swing. This hole, I thought I had outsmarted, but here's my first attempt at it. Way too turned. Really, you hate to go out of bounds on this shot, and going out of bounds would be the right side. This creek right here, pretty much anything right of the basket. That's a good example of a decision to make. I'm in jump putt range. I would make that literally 50% of the time.
Yep.
But not worth a coin flip there for a stroke.
Not second round. You're coming to a par 4 now. You've got to hit a ceiling.
And that is cranked right, needing this to get a little bit lucky. And it does get just enough lucky. Now I'm scrambling, not in a good landing zone.
What's it like to take that bogey 2 holes ago, have to take a par on a birdie hole, and then come to this and throw a bad tee shot?
This is that grind. Great question. This is that moment where you're just grinding. And you know what? This is a funny moment because Jomez actually missed my shot here because I went early. I went a little bit early. Nobody was expecting me to throw, and Ricky was behind me. And Ricky is like impossible to annoy with stuff like that because he's so in the zone. But I threw my tee shot here, and then I'm faced with like a little, let's see here, a little step out shot right there from that log.
Right.
And you can't attack the green whatsoever. I was throwing a sidearm actually out and just trying to get over the creek. I threw a really good upshot, actually.
Yeah, you did, to even have a jumper at the green. Your forehand must have traveled close to 400 feet just to get an attempt at this birdie putt that we saw.
Yep. So that flick got me all the way up to like a jump putt kind of range, 100 feet, jump putt for me. Put it on that Anheuser angle. Kind of want to give it a little run there for sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're just talking about trying to get yourself back on track after a few bad holes and a little bit of traction lost.
Yeah. I mean, all you can do is like scramble for par in that situation. I knew once I threw that tee shot, par was my best possible score. So that's what I had to do in that situation.
And so you've successfully, in a way, gotten yourself back on track with that. You had a goal. You succeeded with that goal. So you can move on. You're 1 for 1, getting back on track. Maybe 2 for 2 once you get this birdie putt.
Exactly. And this hole I loved as well. Big jump putt. Elevated basket, but it's really sandy, so it's not going to go too far past, but I would have had to focus.
Full release on that.
Love it. Jump putts always feel like extra, but they're starting to feel like a part of it now, part of the score.
What would you say to some people that are trying to learn the jump putt and implement it into their game?
I mean, it's not for everybody necessarily, but I think that they should definitely at least give it a shot because it's a great way to get energy generated into a disc.
Yeah. Yeah, let's definitely look at this A2 shot from you again on the island hole 16. This is a big moment. This is a two-stroke swing if you miss this green.
This hole's so important. For me, I'm playing practice rounds. I'm making sure that I understand what the wind is doing in those practice rounds because this is 319 feet, maybe a little more, and it's just in the air for a long time. So in other words, the wind's going to affect it like crazy.
Yeah, and you're putting about 260 feet of effort onto it.
Pretty much, yeah. I'm throwing an A2. So like my max distance with the A2 is 300.
Yeah.
And I'm throwing it on my very comfortable flat angle, just making sure that it's like, it's not super hard. It's just a very comfortable throw. And I'm aiming kind of in that,
right over the top of that green tree at the base, to the right of that person, kind of, huh?
I'm actually aiming left of that person.
Okay.
Pretty much at the base of that tree, but way high up in it. I'm aiming like in the middle of that tree, pretty much. It does look like I'm aiming the inside, though, there.
It's because your disc is stable and immediately heading that direction. You're not out of the hand. It's almost hard to tell where your aiming point was with a stable approach disc like the A2. But you successfully grabbed that birdie, a big one.
Yeah, like you said, two-stroke swing there. Everybody on my card made it look easy.
There's a couple ways to play this one. You need to get right through that initial tree gap and then as far right as you can.
Yeah, I mean, not really as far right as you can. People throwing backhand want to go as far forward as you can, but with a flick, you don't want to go super far right. This is me going super far right and being way out of position to score. Almost caught early trees with that M1 there. I threw a D1 off the tee pad, really safe, scared of the water for some reason, don't know why. Needed to focus more there, and here I am for my birdie putt, which was actually cool to have, and then a nice tree stop there.
Right along the house, the clubhouse.
Yeah, that clubhouse, like, you could sneak yourself birdie putts out of that for sure. And then finally, hole 18, H4v2 tee shot here. Smooth fan grip, just a hyzer. It worked so good for me. I don't opt for that a lot, but Thomas Gilbert gave me that idea, and I loved it. Got me to a pretty good landing zone there. Now I'm sitting. This shot is so sick, honestly. I'm sitting like 350 feet out, but you can hit it flat if you want, but it makes your angle a little bit smaller. So I'm throwing my glidey D2 on a hyzer and swinging it over the bleachers. And I can almost like visualize I can pretty much see the shot before I throw it going over these bleachers here. Looks like I'm actually a little bit right here. Got a little bit scared for a sec, but no skip. And plenty close for a tap in.
Yeah, such a great shot. With the OB everywhere, not being able to see it, you really just got to trust what you've done in practice and, your disc and how you've thrown it.
Yeah, it seems so far from that upshot. But, yeah, like you said, just trust your angle, give it a good line, and it'll have a chance. There we are, 15 under. Calvin at 18 under, looking like he's about to take control.
Yeah, as we headed mulligans now.
Still tied for third, though. Feeling so good going to sleep that night. Sitting in third place, 3 strokes off the lead. Emerson Keith up there, Calvin up there. Going back to the open course.
First hole just a par 4. You're looking to get distance and just not miss right. Anything other than that gives yourself a chance at the 3.
Yeah, can't miss right, so just make sure to put plenty of hyzer on it. And that'll give me a chance. This upshot, though.
What'd you go with?
PA3.
Okay.
I was 315 from the pin. I went with the PA3 knowing that I had to full power it, and I didn't full power it. Gives me this junky putt.
Ooh.
Not a fun putt to start your round off with.
No, with the speed that you threw on, if that didn't hit metal, that'd have been 40 feet down there.
For sure. And it was so weird windy right there. That putt turned into a big momentum shift, though. It went from very scary to like, all right, I got this round. Let's do this.
Yeah, you're smacking your circle ones again. You just hit a death putt. What would you have gone with if it wasn't the PA3 upshot?
Oh, maybe an M1, and then I would have just went long and pretty much been jump putting back up.
Okay.
That, I went with a D3 there, and I grip locked it a little far to the right. Thought I was going to get away with it maybe, and here I am with an outside the circle putt for a par. Not going to get it, and that's going to start me off 1 over. And at this point, I'm like thinking some of the worst things that I could be thinking, like, is round 3 going to be the end of my worlds, Yeah. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty good for the most part about when the next shot comes, just trying to do it. Just trying to, like, execute that next shot. I've done it for so long now. I'm not, like, super new to the game. So I'm getting a lot better at it, I'd say.
It is discouraging, though, and for those young players and a bunch of these touring pros, it's hard to get over those misses and those bad breaks, but oh my gosh, roll that back. Yeah,
can do.
Take another look. All right, you see the flag top right blowing super downwind left to right.
Yeah, so like I'm thinking this might not even be makeable. I've got that branch out in front of me, but I'm so like, I mean, I need a birdie at this point so bad. It's not the end of the world, but I didn't think this was even possibly makeable, but just wanted to give it as much of a chance as possible, and right under that branch was enough.
Dead center.
That putt felt so good.
Had to feel good. Little momentum shift.
Yeah.
Those thoughts in your mind, are they completely gone, or?
Yeah, I mean, starting, just trying to execute this shot, and after this shot, they're getting to be pretty much gone. I mean, at this point, now we're going 1 under. I parked this one the first round as well. So this is the last time we're playing this course, so going birdie.
453 with 90 feet of hyzer on it.
Yeah, into the headwind. Into the headwind for sure.
And that disc never came to flat. That was a D1, correct?
Yes.
You're choosing to play this hole for position, not power?
I used to go backhand driver on this shot, but it's just too easy to, like, skip out of bounds, and that makes you in such a it gives you such a disadvantage on the hole to go out of bounds on the tee shot, as opposed to if I were to go out of bounds on this shot, I'm likely going to be pretty close to the basket for my par.
Yeah. You're aiming at the water, playing away from it with that second shot, giving yourself a putt.
Kind of scary putt here, but not really. Just trying to put it a little higher and kind of like not kill it into the basket. But I didn't put it high enough. So that's what got to be a par there. I want to be birdieing this hole almost every time, but it doesn't feel the best to take a par there.
Definitely a birdie hole here.
I never practiced this shot here.
You told me not to play it when we didn't practice, and then you just parked it there.
I know, but I came close to the tree too. Like, if you hit that tree, you're gonna be out of bounds.
And then it's like 100-foot drop zone.
People just make it look so easy, and so I just did it there. Don't advise it.
All right, you're going for this green
For sure.
and this is flipped up too much.
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a headwind there, and I'm throwing my Glidey D2. I know that can happen. We are in Utah, so it's going to be more stable than usual, for sure. These D2s are more stable than usual.
But into left to right wind.
Yeah.
Like.
But in a headwind, that's just going to flip and carry me. I threw that thing like 550.
Yeah, bombed into that construction zone.
And that's just giving a bogey back to the course for no reason. Really frustrating. Especially going into this difficult hole next. Like, this one's so hard to park.
Yeah, a bunch of small bunkers around it on a knoll. This looks great, though.
For a sidearm, that was awesome. People throw hyzers backhand into this green, and it's just kind of playing roulette with the bunker that's right there.
Yeah, you got one short right and then just long behind that knoll. So that's not an easy putt that you just hit there.
No, with the wind that's going around too, uphill angle, that was a great feeling putt to make. Staying solid.
This is just grab a bunch of D off the tee, make this second shot easy for you. Bunkers play long of this basket. That's the only real danger by the bucket.
Yeah, we have that tailwind there, so literally all I'm thinking is like hyzer it and throw it as hard as you can and try to get it to unwind as far as possible. I did, and now I pull out the A2 for the upshot, getting scared of that bunker. Big mistake, taking a par there. That's just like...
You threw your tee shot over 500, so you had kind of a tweener upshot.
I was so far ahead of everybody there.
Oh, this looks great.
D3.
Unbelievable. You don't see people park this hole. That's really well done. You got your disc so far right that it landed on the back side of that golf tee box. Give you that skip forward.
Yeah, I got a little bit aggressive with the height. A lot of people throw low through the soccer goal, so I threw it higher and got really rewarded with that one. Gonna go sidearm here on this one as well. Playing with Sexton, I believe. Yeah, who made it look easy. I felt like that was really easy as well. Looked really good from the tee box. Just got some work to do. Like, thought it was going to be closer. I was hoping I was tapping this one in, so I had this nice 2-minute long thought process of, oh gosh, all right, got to make this putt.
Now you got a 29-footer. Ooh. Way to talk yourself into it.
Sometimes James Conrad actually says this. You got to trick yourself into making it. You got to trick yourself into thinking that there's no problem. This is just do what it takes.
Yeah. Ooh, going to that F5, flipping it up. It looks like it's getting back to hyzer. Wow.
Sick shot.
Super sick shot. That's technical, man. Anytime you pull out that F5 and put a clean release on it, I mean, you'd see so many amateurs and even pros wobble that out of their hands, and you just take that torque. And
yeah, I want to watch that again. Kind of explain my thought process on it because it's super useful. So we have a mando tree on this hole. It's that sprouty one, middle left side. Got to go to the right of it. So it's such a tight gap. And the wind's blowing from right to left. Or actually, it's not. It's left to right. It looks like it's right to left, though, because when the wind's blowing, that fence right there kind of blows in, sucks in.
Pushes in.
Yeah, it makes it even smaller.
Yep.
So I'm making sure that I'm throwing this on a hyzer because I don't want to flip it up and go left of the tree. Just want to cruise it up inside. I would say I did miss my line here by just a little bit, but it's in my missing realm, if that makes sense. It's like, I know I could miss that, and it'll work out. So
yeah,
it's in the game plan.
You knew you couldn't miss with too much hyzer, or you never have a chance at the birdie.
Yeah.
All right, this is a super long par 3, the longest on the course. You've got water everywhere down by the green. It's not a bad one to just take a par on.
It's not, and you could do that by throwing putter, but that would be kind of hard because the basket's really close to the water. So a lot of people throw driver. There's a lot of room up there. Just can't make it hyzer out. Can't baby it pretty much.
Yeah, you're not losing very many strokes by taking the par there.
No.
Did anybody on your card birdie it? Do you remember?
I don't believe this round. This shot.
Bunker-ridden green, OB long right.
We do. We have that right, a little bit of right to left wind now at this point for some reason, which doesn't make any sense because.
Is that where Sexton's disc landed?
Yes.
Look at that guy go.
Just good enough.
You've got a 22-footer, but it's a pretty tough 22-footer.
For par.
Yeah. You can't see here, but OB long behind that basket.
It's easy for me to think Sexton's right there with a much easier putt, gonna get an easy 2.
He's going to get to take his meter off that, won't he?
No, hazard.
Okay. Hazard, all right.
But, yeah, still could have been a 2-stroke swing. This hole, picking a spot somewhere inside of this tree.
You really had to commit to that Anheuser angle.
And I didn't commit enough. And that's the thing. That's all I have to do is throw it really hard there. And I didn't throw it hard. So I'm on this hillside here, all awkward, not able to get a good look at it. But throwing the D3 there just really hard. I was like 370 out. Or no, I'm sorry, 350 out.
And you went D3, D3.
D3, D3, 350, 350.
Let's see if you can jam this one. You
I
can. You had a side hill left to right lie. How does that affect your forehand on that?
It's like pretty much something you don't practice that much. So it took a lot of balance, I would say.
Contortion, for sure. It was an awkward shot that you were able to pull off. Grab that stable disc. You wrenched it over. You got the nice skip that you knew you'd get if you played it out left. You couldn't mess with the water.
Yeah.
And you're going back to that disc again.
Yes, this disc was playing so good for me. And right here, I'm playing it 350 feet, but I got it too high, so I threw it over my desired distance. If I kept that lower and hit the ground, I wouldn't have skipped into the bunker here. And then that's a putt that I remember that I got a little bit unfocused on. The wind was blowing weird, and I started just to hope that the moment was over.
You're going F5 here.
Yeah, F5. Don't want to go right. If you get on it too much, you'll go OB right, and then you're pretty much looking at a bogey. You could get a save a par, but I was barely outside the circle right there, trying to get another circle 2 putt. I've almost got on a roll at this point. Not near the score that I would want, but the wind is being really weird today, so just trying to stay solid, not take big numbers. That's how you're going to take yourself out of it.
Yeah, you've got a really dangerous birdie hole here. That one looks a bit precarious.
So precarious. That wall, if it rolls down to the wall, it's out of bounds. Just barely stayed in bounds here.
Oh, my gosh.
And then made a massive putt. Big decision.
Totally. So you were talking about second round, laying putts like this up, and I guess it's situational at the end of the day. You were feeling like you needed to get back on track. You had hit a jump putt just 2 holes previous to that. I mean, what was it that made you run that one?
That is exactly what it comes down to. I knew that I was feeling it on the green, so I just trusted that I was going to correct off that putt on the hole before. Made a huge one there, and it kept me in such a solid position on the leaderboard.
Yeah, it got you another chase card.
Yeah.
Playing with Paul, James, and Mason Ford, who also played with you last round.
Yeah. The people are rowdy. This is crazy. You feel like you truly feel like a professional. Yeah. When you're standing there, walking up to the tee box, and these people are just immediately in uproar for you, ready to watch you just play disc golf.
Even better shot than the first round.
Yep.
Maybe a bit obstructed. You're going to a spin putt.
Yes, because if I straddle here, I don't have a lane, and I barely have the spin putt lane. If I miss it left chain, if I hit left chains, it's going to hit that last skinny tree. I snuck it in the perfect spot. Good to feel the spin putt and good to trust it.
Okay, so you went Spikeheiser here, round 2. This is round 4 now. You're going PA3?
Yes. Yes, we are. We had a right to left wind going on like I was talking about.
No way.
just high enough, man. I wasn't feeling the best about this shot. A lot of times I want to feel like I'm going to do it 100% of the time, but I didn't feel like it there.
Executed anyways.
Yeah, I got the easy tap in birdie.
Love to see that. Great start from you and the eventual champ, James Conrad.
Much different day for this hole. Got the tailwind, so I'm going glidey D2, mashing a hyzer, putting it way up there because...
Oh, my gosh. I didn't actually see this. This is my first time seeing some of these shots. That's unbelievable, Kevin.
I love it. I love it, man.
5-16 to go turkey to start your 4th round at Worlds. You got to be feeling it.
Oh, you're so right, which in practice I was like, going turkey here would be so sick. Maybe that got in my head here. Got on this one just a little much. This gap is so tight. It
didn't commit to that hyzer release like you had previously.
Yeah, but we can still lay out to the same spot. Just make sure that you're in the fairway somewhere.
Yeah.
You're looking down the tunnel here. Time to throw an upshot and scramble for par.
Oh, you had a weird little log you had to step over there.
I did.
And how much did that affect?
A lot, but I still thought that it was totally manageable. I got my steps down, and ultimately, like on hole 2, my putter is not just feeling the best out of my hand. I'm not throwing the putter as straight as I'd like to. Try to save a par there, not going to happen.
Did you consider a standstill run-up on that 3rd shot?
No, because it was too far, and it would have been way less of an opportunity. It would have been, the percentage would have been way less.
More manipulation there.
Yeah.
All right, so you went F5 last tee shot. You're going F5 again.
Yes.
Committing to that, needing it to get right. Oh, my gosh. And that's right by the drop zone.
Yes.
Perfect tee shot. You made the adjustment off the last hole and the first time you played this.
Yes. And I'm pretty sure I had Mason.
Gosh.
Yeah, Mason also in the correct landing zone there, showing me the exact line that I needed to hit. Cool to see that shot right before I threw it. It's crazy. This shot is so hard. Like, I've already thrown a 10 out of 10 difficulty shot.
Right.
To get to this spot. And this is a par 4. So if you want to get a birdie, you got to get it. You got to get to the basket in 2.
Yeah.
Going outside here exactly where I wanted it.
Cutting it in perfect. And at the fort, holes 3, 4, and 5 plays the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd hardest holes on the course. So you've just parked one of them, taken a bogey, and then birdied the other one. You went 1 down through them. That's got to feel great.
Yes. Yeah. Getting 1 back there. Now I'm like, pretty much screw it on this hole. I have tried to go up the middle. You can throw an almost perfect looking shot and still not get what the result that you want. So I just decided to throw a grenade as hard as I can. And here I am at 45 feet. Like, I don't hate it. I can make that 50% of the time. I'm about 50% from like 45 feet, I'd say.
Excuse me.
Short tee box here. Can't see the line of the disc, but you can here. F5, fan grip, flat. Threw it so good. I thought I would be like right there by the basket, but no, I'm 45 feet. Log in my vision.
No, you didn't. Twice now. Like, every time you've played this hole, actually.
Yes.
You've had to putt over that log, have it in your vision. That's so hard to do, to not see your target as you're about to release.
And then we yanked this one that last time. Almost ace it this time.
That's got to feel good. You're making all the adjustments from the previous round.
So true. And that last hole is a hole that I'm scared of. Like, I really put like an asterisk on that one. Is that how you say that?
Yeah. The short box.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was saying the asterisk.
Oh, yeah, I feel what you're saying. You put importance on it. You put...
Yeah, in my practice rounds, because if you hit a tree and kick left, it's just dead. Tee shot, totally, whatever you want to call it. Ricky would call it shankopotamus. Yeah, just horrible. And then I threw...
early left. You got a bit aggressive there.
Yeah.
Didn't want to miss it left short, so you missed it a bit long right.
And at this point, now I'm in the trees here. Got to cover some ground here, so I threw a D2, and then I'm still got a lot of work left to get up and down for par, thinking that I'm maybe done it, but just short.
Oh, that's a couple feet away from sliding down that hill under the basket.
Yes.
Instead, you're at 38, 39 feet in an awkward jumper with your right foot on the backside of that tree, it looks like. Great par from you. You were never really in position that entire time, so that's got to feel like a win as well.
Yeah, huge win right there. We got the headwind on this one, so I'm just throwing the maximum hyzer that I can throw. Let's watch it again because I want to, and this is my channel, and I really appreciate you guys for joining me and Luke today. This was a lot of fun. I'm seeing shots that I don't even remember. Most of those are bad shots because I forget those ones.
Well, this one here, you're one of the best in the game at releasing on a full hyzer like this. Your commitment and your ability to get your body out of the way as you swing this thing through is almost second to none.
Yeah, I just love doing it. I feel like it keeps the disc under control. It's an overstable disc, but I'm putting a lot of power on it, and it almost got nose down at the end of the flight there. In the headwind, that's quite a bit of distance. I like it.
Yeah, it put you a little further left than you were last round?
Yeah, but birdieing this hole was just much harder today.
Oh, my.
Big time shot.
Went with the A2. Put yourself inside the circle. Your tempo and your rhythm look really good on your putts right now for the entire World's Tournament.
Dude, I think I'm perfect in the circle so far. I'm not for sure, but I'm pretty sure that I'm 100% inside the circle, which is just it's the reason that I'm close to the lead right now.
This one looks really good.
Ooh, caught late, a lot of roll on it. That's fine. That'll give me a jumper, but that scary jumper that I don't want to airball on because you can get pinched off back there.
Yeah.
Messing around, having a good time because that's how I play good. Out there doing what I love.
Yeah, you're always kicking discs.
You know I want to correct on this shot. Look at me go 2 feet to the right of that tree, dragging that thing back. Just looks so good.
Past where you were in 2 shots last time you played this hole. Which gives you a better angle, and you just stick that A3 10 feet from the basket. Amazing correction, because this was your only bogey of the previous round.
Yeah.
The second round, that is.
Correct.
First time you played for it.
Yeah. Ooh. Ticking the tree, as they say in bench warmers. I ticked it.
You'll be left laying up on this one.
Total layup. Gonna take my second 3.
And people wonder why you're doing that. It's the out of bounds by the basket that's making you make sure that you're missing left, if anything. It's just a dangerous hole.
Okay, so I switched to a fairway driver. I went D2 last time. D2 fan grip. Didn't feel as comfortable. Wanted to make it through the gap and give myself a chance. Through the F5, pretty scaredy cat style. Now I'm trying to go through the right of that. Just the window, just a little bit right of that. Got kicked off, but over. And looking straight down. Going to go stock. Luke Humphries and Hogan Humphries putter. PA3 to under the basket.
Yeah, you've always thrown the putters well. No problem getting up and down from there and making it stress-free at the end of the day. Oh, wow.
That was so crazy.
Let's rewind that. How high was that disc? It's kind of funny. We've rewinded your F5 forehands a lot now, but
yeah,
it's one of the best parts about your game, and it's something that separates you, I think, at the end of the day, is your ability to forehand.
Yeah, it's the reason that I'm competing at this course so well, in my opinion. And this shot was so much lower than the other F5 shot at the last round, but it got over that Guardian log.
I was 30 inches off the ground, but spun perfectly out of the hand, moving left to right and then right to left, so it's never falling down at that point.
Yeah. It was so satisfying. Oh, go A3 this time. I don't even know.
It was a tail thing? No, that's a headwind.
Yeah, that's
and
why.
You clipped the tree.
Clipped the tree. Was maybe going long. Tough to say. Trying to give that putt a run. But there's that 2-stroke swing. That'll take me to even. James Conrad obviously going to be parked on this one. Nowhere else he would be.
So, looking to push this one straighter than you did.
Looks like I threw my D3 there. Needed the flare, though. Got destroyed. Like, I just needed a little bit of flare.
That was a crazy skip. Must have hit a little mound. That's just something you got to take in disc golf.
And that was in the air for a while there, going A3 Anheuser. If I get past those first trees, I'll be cruising towards the basket somewhere.
Oh, beautiful shot there to make sure you get your par.
And that was the 500 PA3 little hyzer.
That's been your workhorse.
Yeah.
Kind of hyzer release upshot disc. You threw a beautiful drive last time with that H4v2.
Trying to do the exact same thing and practically did. Just don't want to be like, you never know what trees you're going to be gifted with here. Got more people in the stands. I'm sitting 370 out here.
Even better than before. Kept that one lower and lefter. And those spotters were stoked to do that.
Yeah, those were, and that was so satisfying to watch too. Going in, solid round. Going to put me on the lead card for the final round at the World Championships. Dream come true. Putting 97% side of the circle. Parking first place in park jobs. Final round starts right now.
We're staying at the fort.
I felt great about it. I felt really great about today.
What a fantastic way to start your day, dude. 10-footer.
Yeah.
Calvin already got it. Paul got it. And is James tapping in for, his par?
Yeah, he did not get that one. Trying to just do the exact same thing I did last time. But like I said, confidence is so big. And looking back on it, I wish I would have practiced my putter shots a little bit more. If I'd have been a little bit more comfortable, I could have saved a couple strokes throwing putters straighter. But I did a lot of other things really good at the same time. And it's hard to do everything good.
But it is good to take notes like you're doing now and think about the misses and the gets. And you parked this yesterday. Similar line.
Yeah, going wider and more aggressive this time. I mean, this was the ace line.
Really was. Connected with the tree, but stayed inside circle 1.
Loving it. This putt right here is insane to describe.
With all those people right behind.
1,000 people lined up in the woods right behind your 40-footer. It's like undescribable. Like already, like it's just, you know they're going to explode if you make it. So you want to make it so bad. And gosh, I left it short. Like, come on.
You're one of the few people that get to experience something like that.
Yeah, and I feel so fortunate. This is such an experience doing this. Any Pro Tour event even, but this especially. Now, I kicked off left with my F5 there. Got my A3 out, another obvious workhorse. I had a pretty clear line through the left rough. I hit the line perfectly. If I miss the line, who knows what's going to happen? I could be looking at a snowman at that point.
So yesterday, similar position, you didn't get up and down.
Thought I softed it, but the thing cruised right up there. Got a nice fan right there, just like fist pumping for me. Like, that's the crazy stuff. I just love it. They're so passionate about us.
Future champ James Conrad taking a bogey on that one.
Man, and this is huge.
You laced this forehand yesterday.
Totally laced it.
Were you thinking about repeating that shot, that angle?
Yeah, I sure was. Trying to do the exact same aggressive thing because I didn't want to skip out to the right. And that's where I went wrong, was trying to get extra aggressive. I had Paul.
Oh, my.
I kicked all the way out to a, quote, missed mando, not an out of bounds. If it was out of bounds, I would have been done. Like,
but I
missed the mando and advanced all the way to this drop zone that I had never practiced. And then I hit a guy in the neck.
Oh, my.
Wasn't quite as bad as it sounds.
But that's terrible in there, too. Okay, you got far enough.
Thanks to that guy, kind of Tiger Woods effect. Like,
Yeah.
It was going further out, which was going to be much harder to do.
Did you sign some memorabilia and
I literally gave him a disc.
hooked him up? Nice.
Yeah. I signed a disc and gave him a disc. Getting out of there with a bogey hurts. Still alive, though.
Going with the Kev Grenade special.
Going with the grenade because I know I can get it up there. And I've got adrenaline, so I know I'm only going to throw farther than ever
Right.
with a grenade. So got up there to a jump putt range. This is not where it landed. That's where my putt landed. I was trying to putt through those trees right there. And
they're pretty tight.
yeah, it took a perfect putt. Didn't have it. Now I'm sitting into this hole that I hate.
But you've
Not
gone
hate,
2 for
but-
2 on.
Yeah, but I'm terrified to play, and I'm just like,
And you lace it again.
the best yet.
Oh my gosh.
The best yet. I
Yeah, the
threw
distance control on that thing was unbelievable.
such a high-level shot. Now I'm sitting here with a 30-footer, like, trying to stay alive in this tournament. Whoo! Got it up there.
3 for 3 on that.
Yeah,
hole.
what? I didn't even realize that until, like, right now. It's crazy. Now we're sitting in this hole, which I feel great about.
Oh yeah.
That shot feels cash money.
Oh, that. Yeah, skipped out a little bit, but that's perfect.
Loving life at this point.
You've adjusted off your missed left on the first day. And that one kind of just fell out of the sky a little bit.
See what happened here. I had so much time to look at this putt. We were waiting on the people to tee off behind us.
Yep, on the par 5, 9th. It's really close. So you had a second, and it looks like you were just a little bit quick with it. Didn't fully extend.
Ugh. This elevated basket. Got a little bit of a... I have that right to left wind, so I'm... Yeah, just didn't... You're right. I didn't commit to it enough. Taking a par. Ouch. Ouch. Not looking at scores right now, though. I'm just trying to do as much as I can, because that's how I've played good in tournaments.
You and James both.
That's my best looking drive on this hole.
Yeah, it is.
Enough ground action to look straight down this dogleg fairway, which gives me an actual eagle chance. I'm 450 from the pin right now, though. And that was a pretty horrible effort. I could imagine this shot
Whoa.
working. Yeah, tons of ground play. That's big time.
That's awesome.
Kind of, actually. This shot was not easy.
Yeah, there's a little wall of trees there. It's like
Yeah.
you're going A2 just around the left side.
No, I was going like...
the flexi.
Oh, dude.
The flexi with a missed height, leaving you about 45.
Yeah, I should have had like the easiest birdie ever. Now we're 45 feet for birdie.
Oh. Well, that's a great birdie get. After that third shot, you know, you're kind of getting away with one at some point, but it's because of that drive. You ended up right. You ended up with enough length to shoot it down that.
And I got a 2-stroke swing on Paul Macbeth there.
And you couldn't get the eagle because I was the only eagle of the day on that one.
Sick.
You're going smash hyzer again. This one ending up the furthest left that you've been all week.
Yes.
Going to cut your angle off a little bit. Are you going with the A2 again here?
Yeah, it's sketchy. I'm not able to park this one, but if I get it through the mando, I'll have a putt, which is all I want. Pretty much perfect shot there.
Oh my, inside the circle.
Yes.
That's a little banana.
Yep, and I've just got a little awkward little putt here,
Oh, it is.
and I did just enough to get it in.
Wow,
Scared.
that angle was amazing. Jump up to the camera crew and the trees for that one. All right.
Whew, not quite enough Anheuser on this one. Going out left, but
Not a
easy up
ton
and
of
down.
danger over there. Yeah, this is
No.
just a hard birdie at the end of the day.
Yeah, I just got to cover ground, which it did, and I would have liked to have gone closer. Now I've got these trees in my way here. Ooh, but feeling so good on the green, just like making it simple. I always try to think about one thing when I'm putting, and especially in like big moments like this.
Ooh, and that looked laced.
Dude, it was.
You hit right tree early first day, and then you threw 2 great shots the next 2 times you played that one.
Sick view right here for a huge shot. F5 hyzer just through the same disc.
My, Kev.
Cruise it all
This
the
is
way.
huge. Yeah, you picked up 2 on Paul on hole 9. And now you've just birdied that one again. Is Paul birdieing? He isn't. So we've got a 3-way tie for the lead at this point in the World Championships.
Yeah. would love to park this and keep the birdie train going, and that could have
if
been
that tree
close.
didn't let it go, probably had 12 to 15 feet extra.
Yes, I would have been running it at that point.
All right,
This
so
one,
Paul drains a putt here, goes to 35. You and James both lay up.
yes.
I know James grabs birdie, I guess.
Paul is a no. James didn't birdie.
Yes, he lays up. You're right. Okay.
Paul is a madman for running what he ran on that. It didn't make sense to me. He made the putt, but it seemed the risk reward just didn't seem like it was there for me. But everybody's different. He could have felt like he could have felt weak on these finishing holes, which seems unlikely.
Yeah.
I just don't know why he felt like that was his moment. That putt was like 45 feet. If he missed it, it was out of bounds, and he just totally pured it in there softly.
Yeah, you never know what's in the mind of a player like McBeast, but he had bogeyed a hole a couple prior. He'd given up a couple strokes. He had a couple in the lead, and maybe it was just feeling like he needed to do something at that point.
Yeah, he felt like that was his moment or something. For me, like I did not feel like that was my moment, or just didn't want it to be my moment, because I just had finally chopped that lead down.
Yeah.
You know, I finally got it to tie ball game, and I wasn't trying to have a two-stroke. I wasn't even trying to have the one-stroke swing, because I didn't think Paul was going to run his putt, but he ran his putt and made it, and then it was already I was going to lay it up, and then I laid it up one behind, and I was totally cool. I'm like, whatever. That was a great putt, Paul.
You've got 5 holes to play in this World Championship.
Trying to get more aggressive with this F5 here. And I do, but I kept it too straight. The distance is good, but I'm faced with the hardest shot of my tournament. I stood over this shot for so long, wondering what line I was going to take. And ultimately, there just wasn't a birdie line for me. And there wasn't a great layup line either. So
there's a water OB area that you're trying to get over.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to take a hit and drop in there and lose a stroke for no
And you
reason.
don't want to lay up short of that water, because that upshot isn't guaranteed either.
It's not at all.
I'm just in a huge disadvantage at this point, honestly. Paul and James are in great position, throwing great drives on this. Paul's got me by a stroke. James is tied with me, but like my eyes are more on Paul at this point. And I think that I need to throw a pretty good shot right here. And there was a line for my F5. If I hit it on a touch of Annie, get it to S-curve through there. But the line was just left of where I threw it. And I kicked so far left into nightmare position.
It was asking for a perfect executed line from you.
Yeah, exactly.
And now you're not left in a better position at the end of the day, and you're choosing to go with one of the highest shots I've ever seen you throw.
Yeah, it's like not even really a point of replaying it, but except just to talk about it.
Yeah, well, let's show the contortion that your body went through just to pull this thing off. I saw a picture of you.
Yeah, the picture, if you've seen it, it was on Jomez's Instagram, and yeah, my whole body was just like
facing the other way.
Totally contorted, something like that.
It's unbelievable the way you can pull this off, man. It's
I had to go so straight up here, and the only reason that it was made possible is because of a slight tail and left to right wind that gets under this disc and pushes it forward just enough. And then I took a good tree kick to right there to keep my tournament alive. It was the best grenade that I've ever thrown in my life in the most important moment I've ever thrown. So,
and not an easy putt left. A little work to do there. Yeah, it's not often you can say, almost for a matter of fact, that you're the only one that could have executed that shot on the earth.
Yeah, I would say that that's very possible. Not many people are throwing grenades farther than me, that's for sure. But I'm also gripping them differently with the index finger. That shot right there, just want to get into a putting zone, and I did just that and made another massive putt in my career.
Dude, so big, man. You threw that F5 again, skipped it up into a jump putt position.
Yeah, like real low shot. I was just like, at this point, it's so low and so right. I just was like,
Get
please
through.
scoot forward.
Scoot,
yeah,
baby.
Yeah.
And she did. Never really too close to the trees, giving yourself a, this is 50 feet.
Low ceiling.
Oh, my gosh. Dropping the bomb, dropping the base. You are jacked about that one, dude. Rightly so. I mean, at this point, one of the bigger putts you've ever hit in your career.
Easily. Still, yeah, easily. And now, one of the biggest shots of my life, going with the A2 today because of the tailwind.
Oh, my gosh, man. That could have held. It felt like the tailwind would drop it. It gave it a little height, and at the end of the day, it just traveled, a yard or two too far. Could have sat easily, though, because what we didn't see is Macbeth's Raptor, a higher speed disc,
right,
sitting. And you just get the most unfortunate set of circumstances that could have happened.
I mean, that was it, though. Like, I'm sitting here a stroke, 2 strokes back. Oh, yeah, because Paul birdied that 14 or 13.
Yeah. Yeah, Paul laced that line on.
Paul birdied 14. That's what he got. And 13. But, yeah, this shot on the island here is just, I have to have it. I have to have it, especially after Paul already throws and he's going to get a 2. This is it.
It looks good. It just raises up right there as it's turning out of its ante, coming back into its hyzer.
Dude, like 2 feet from curling in bounds.
What, if anything, would you do different?
I don't know. I dream about throwing like a putter, not like James, but directly at it, just with a purple putter. But
yeah, you're kind of beat in.
It's such a flick.
Yeah.
Making sure last thing you'd want to do is leave it short. So
yeah.
And man,
it went right over the basket.
It wasn't that far from acing,
no,
which
it really
would have
wasn't. A little wind gust away,
dude. Seriously. Yeah, and then obviously thinking I've got to make this.
Yeah, I got to jam it and birdie the next 2 to win. And that putt had to look so good. And it just didn't even think about staying in bounds. It cruised off.
Not a fun putt to stare down, but you don't want to miss a putt there. And I didn't. So I was at least doesn't look like it, but I was happy about not missing that one.
Yeah, you hit it dead center.
All right. And then here we are throwing the most aggressive, but also the by far the best tee shot I've thrown on that hole.
Fantastic.
Getting the skip that I was hoping for.
We saw in Portland you getting a bad set of rolls, some unfortunate circumstances, and we see it again here. And your attitude, I just got to take a moment and say is, it's impeccable, man. It's what the kids should look up to. You're a champion at the end of the day. You're going to get yours because you don't get down on yourself and you're not doing anything you'll regret. It's upstanding, man. It's good for the game, and I commend you for it.
Well, thank you. Seriously. It's hard out there sometimes, but, yeah, it definitely pays off.
Feels like you got punched in the gut.
Yeah, at least.
Beautiful tee shot from you here.
Feels like somebody stole your lunch money. I don't know.
Yeah, it's got to. You're throwing another one out at the crowd.
Yeah, another sick forehand. Feeling so good on that 18. You have to come close to those people too. Like, they love that. So.
Everybody's feeling it. They just watch you. Every single one of these people watched those set of circumstances on 16. Saw the roll away, saw the spit out.
Yeah.
And for you to keep your head up, 30-18 like that, you're the people's chant for them.
That was post-madness too. Gotta mention.
Yeah. Conrad had just run up and down that fairway.
Yeah, but that's gonna do it, guys. I really appreciate you guys joining me for my channel and joining me inside my mind. If you have any questions about what I was thinking, pop them in the comments. I would love to go through those and answer them. But yeah, thanks, guys, and thank you, Luke, for helping me out with this.
Yeah, I think it's a really unique thing that you've done here. You can show these people, kind of unpack your mind into these videos and let people know what you were thinking during these shots. I think it's cool.
Yeah. If you guys have any other ideas for content, let me know in the comments. I will always be checking. Thanks as always, and like and subscribe. You know that helps. We'll see you next time.